Hi, this is Sean Work. I'm moving on with my work eating podcast. Sorry, there was a huge delay. I have some kids, and over the years, they're 2 and 5, and um, they started getting sick all the time. As soon as I started sending them to daycare, and my life got incredibly way busier than I ever imagined. So I stopped podcasting or doing screencasts. So anyway, back to where I'm at. I started a site called writesean.com, and you can basically write me any question you have on internet marketing, SEO, PPC, branding, or company building, and I'll answer it in a blog post. And the idea is I'll do one a day. I probably won't get that many questions, but as I get them, I'll try to post one a day, and hopefully I don't get too busy, but we'll see. So today's question is comes from Lunaria Moon. In your expert opinion, what is the best way to organically grow your traffic to your site? So I answered this for her, and I'm just going to discuss a few things. So it really depends on what kind of business you're in and what your goals are. But I take three different possible businesses that would engage in blogging and kind of run through some scenarios. So one's a local plumber, the other one's a blogger in some sort of niche, and the third is a tech startup. So for a small business that's serves a local customer base, it's really important that you do something called local SEO. And basically, what you want to do is you want to sign up here in this is Google's My Business site, or their little service they offer. And let's see what happens when we start now. All right, so you start filling out your information, and basically this gets seeded into Google, and this will help you show up on maps and on Google searches. Um, on first page of Google when people search for like plumber in Springfield, Kansas, whatever. Actually, I guess it's Springfield, Illinois, right? Or whatever city you're in. So it's really important to fill this out and do it really carefully and correctly and accurately. Don't try to fill out multiple profiles for imaginary businesses. Just be honest. If you start trying to trick them or game them, it's probably way more hurt than it would ever be worth. Now, there is a little tip and hack to this I learned years ago when I was helping clients with this. Uh, there are all kinds of business directories out there that want your information. Um, most of them, it's pretty obvious. They're pretty legitimate and they're relevant and trusted. Uh, Fill out all the different business directories you can that are not, don't look, they look like they have their stuff together. They don't look like some fly by night operation or something weird. Um, though a lot of those directories, apparently Google uses those and kind of cross references them, and it'll help solidify, like, it'll basically make your listing more trustworthy. Um, the second thing I go over in this post is, oh yeah, you can blog. Anyone can blog. Now, a lot of times, small businesses in like, say like a plumber or something that doesn't sound too interesting, they're like, why would I blog? Well, what you can do is you can actually blog and address problems and solve problems that are relevant to the neighborhood you serve. And so, for example, where I live, we have all the homes in this neighborhood were built in the 70s, the late 70s, and they all have piping that's in the foundation, in the cement foundation of the homes. And what happens is after like 40 years, a pipe will break, and it's a huge problem when you have a pipe that breaks inside a cemented foundation. Where my parents live, their houses were built in the 1920s, and all the pipes were just underneath the house, and there's a crawl space and you can access them. And I don't think they've ever had a broken pipe as long as I can remember. But here it's a problem. So here, if you were a plumber in my neighborhood, you could blog and do YouTube videos discussing how to solve this problem, how to prevent it, what you can do if it happens, things like that. That stuff could be very, very helpful. It can actually build the person or the proprietor as a trustworthy person or ambassador in the community. It's just something you might want to do once a week. It might pay a lot of amazing dividends, so totally worth trying. If you're a blogger in a certain niche, you guys probably all know all this. Try blogging more than once a day if you're only blogging once a week. I'm sorry, let me step back. Try blogging more frequently. So if you're blogging once a week, try blogging once a day if you can. Frequency generally helps. Not all the time, but it can. I'm taking my own advice today and I'm turning my blog post into a screencast and uploading to YouTube. It's not that hard for me to do. I might as well do it. Guest blog and other blogs that are more popular than your own. A lot of times you'll get links back and things like that, and you get in front of another audience. It just helps. Try to create a resource and for your community, and make something that people would want to link to, and then see if other blogs would want to link to it. That's a great way to boost your SEO traffic. Try doing a podcast. I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone here, doing like a kind of a video podcast. And then measure what you're doing. A lot of people don't really measure carefully. And even if you have tools that like analytics and things like that measure for you, I think it's still worth it to put it in a spreadsheet and make sure you kind of look at your spreadsheet every day and track your progress and fill out, how much traffic you got and, what you're trying in your notes and are you heading in the right direction and kind of keep a log of what you're doing. I think that's really beneficial. Finally, I talk about the tech startup, and for like some kind of Silicon Valley or wherever you're located startup, I think that one of the most important things to do is to really focus on your PR and really try to find out. I mean, a lot of you guys talk to amongst each other and talk to different founders. Ask who they use for PR and what firm you can use or what agency. You just want a lot of buzz and you want to get stories written. Those stories usually come from very trusted websites, and the links that they give you are really, really good. And you kind of just want to keep the buzz machine going, in my opinion. I can't even begin to explain how much that can help. And then finally, yeah, again, a tech startup can blog, but sometimes tech startups will blog about their company retreat or their office party, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. But the most important thing probably is to just start blogging on, create posts that are solutions to your customers' problems. So I talked about in this post, I talk about how if you're say like you have some new wedding photography drone camera system you're pushing, and that's what you do, then I would write a post on how to tactfully capture aerial, wedding footage. So you're solving your customers' problems or your prospects' problems with a very detailed posts. You write, be long-winded, use a lot of photos, just show them how it can be done. And then with your photos, there's a final little tip I talk about, which is every photo or every image in your blog post will have an alt tag. It's just a little HTML code. It just describes the photo, so that's always a good idea is to make sure you use alt tags. If you Google alt tags, you'll learn all about them. They're real easy. And then the final bonus I have is called Haro, which is help a reporter out. And I've always known about this site, and I started recommending it to people. And one of my friends who started a startup in the mortgage space started using it, and it was amazing what kind of luck they ran into. They started getting a lot of inquiries, and then they found a reporter that ended up writing for their blog that was well connected, and it's a kind of a good synergy. So I always recommend trying this site out. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can just leave a comment in this video or hit me up on Twitter at Sean V as in Victor Work, Sean V Work. All right, thanks.